Hey there, my friend. You are watching or listening to the Erin Chase Show, where we chat all things intentional living and trying to find that ever elusive balance in our busy and overwhelming lives. And I am so stoked to break this down for you this August. It's back to school season. My 4 boys go back to school next week, so I am in the throes of getting everything ready to go. And I have lots of back to school ideas to share with you throughout this month here on the $5 Dinners Facebook page and then on a YouTube and podcast platform. If you're new to the Erin Chase Show, we're live on Tuesdays at 2 Central, which is right now. And we then have the replay available both on Facebook, YouTube, and then we have it also streamed out to the podcast players. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can listen to this later to get ideas and inspiration. But if you are listening on a podcast, I would encourage you to go find the video version, because I'm going to sit down on the floor in a second and we're going to organize my lunch situation. I didn't touch it. I did look just to make sure, and it's quite the mess because we haven't really touched it since, May. And there's like stray Tupperware in there, so things have kind of gotten thrown around, and I want to get it in order because I need the lunch packing process to go very smoothly at my house. I think that when the lunch packing goes well, the theme that I have noticed, at least in our family, in our mornings, is when the lunch packing goes well, the morning goes well. And you might be wondering why I don't pack the night before. I just never have. I've tried it. It just didn't work out. I think maybe it's a lack of energy thing or trying up other loose ends at the end of the day thing. I'm not sure. So that's my question for you is, when do you pack school lunches? Is that an evening thing? Is that a morning thing? So answer me that. If you're listening, you can email me at $5dinners@gmail.com if you want to answer the when do you pack lunch. And if you have any fabulous lunch packing tips, please share them. But I want to share with you kind of my organizational strategy, both with the supplies as well as like the food and how all of that works. I also have with me my trusty paper and pencil. I'm a little bit of a mechanical pencil nut. So I have this here because I know there's going to be things like wash the lunch boxes are going to come up. And if I don't write them down, then I will forget to do that thing. And because we're now on crunch time and I'm trying to kind of get back to work after being gone for summer for a little summer vacay, and getting ready for school next week and doing all the things involved, haircuts and getting new school shoes and all those things that are coming. Tax-free weekend is this weekend here in Texas. And so it's just kind of going to be a whirlwind. So I wanted to break this down for you, both so I could do it for myself, but also to inspire you. So we're going to dive real quick to the floor. I'm just going to sit on the floor. So bear with me here. I have my phone kind of mounted. This is, okay, let me back it up a little bit. Okay, this is where we keep our lunch packing supplies, okay? And they are right here in our kitchen. When you're doing this, one of the things I really want you to hear and listen and take away from this is a couple of things. In order to get that smooth, streamlined morning and setting everybody up for success, it's really important to consider function and the function in your kitchen and the way that there are bodies moving in and around your kitchen, both when it comes to like breakfast prep, but if you are packing in the morning, how this works and with how this flows or doesn't flow with your breakfast prep, right? So one of the reasons that this is right here is because there is an entry into our kitchen over here, and then we keep snacks. Where's my right to this side over here. So this is kind of a snack and packable, non-refrigerated things can go right here. And then in our fridge, let me actually see if I can flip the camera really fast. Sorry, y'all. Thanks for bearing with me. In our fridge, one of the reasons that I wanted this fridge, and we bought this last year when we had to move back into our house, long story short, I wanted the drawer for the lunchbox things. Now, listen, I waited and saved for like 2 years to get this fridge. I told this story on another show. But anyways, that is one of the main reasons that I wanted this fourth drawer.
or fourth door slash drawer, so that we could have, things like cheese and yogurt and deli meat and things like that that are quick grabs for lunch packing. So our food lunch packing is pretty much confined to these snack drawers for some of those grab and go things. I also do a lot of baking. Those things live on the countertop kind of behind me, and then of course the drawer. So I want you to be considering sort of that, the function of that. Get my papers down here. So we're just going to get to it. So down here we have water bottles. Obviously we were doing water bottles before whatever COVID, and we're still going to do them. We're always going to do them. So that's why we have this as a situation. I didn't even touch this, you guys. I told you that I needed to get this done. So what I'm actually going to do here, I have Tupperware, I have lunch boxes. I also have some new lunch boxes I ordered. So I need to unpack those. We're going to do all of this right now. And I'm going to show you how I organize this and the supplies I use. So these characters do not belong here. So we need to have an update on those who unload the dishwasher and where these things go. So we have, for many, many, many years, used these easy lunch boxes, easylunchboxes.com. You can also find them on Amazon. And they are not leak proof. That's the one thing I don't love about this, but we don't do a lot of leaky type of foods in our lunches. I do have some thermoses for things like that. But this is what we've used for years, like 10 years. So this is what we have here. I have stacks of them here. They last a long time, but I did decide to refresh because we got down to 8. One of the reasons I did use some sort of bento style lunch boxes when my kids were in preschool, but I found, and they're a lot more expensive than these guys are, and I found that I didn't want to buy 2, and I couldn't get them washed fast enough in sort of my afternoon routine. So having 2 sets of these has been really helpful. Even though we have a really consistent routine, it's been really helpful to do that. Okay, so a couple other things that I have in here. This is an extra cleaning caddy. I bought 4 thinking I would need them, but I only have 3 stashed around the house. So I'm actually going to use that for snacks in our snack cabinet over here. And then this is another container that I have that I was using for something else, but I'm just going to go ahead and start filling this up with water bottles. This is already kind of organized right here, and we'll get to the rest of that in a second. But I want everything right here so that I have it when I need it. So I'm just going to start with the water bottles that I know we have the right pieces for, and then you'll see here in a second. I think this might be retired, but I'm probably just going to move it to the other place where we have our like camping water bottles is in another cabinet. That is a swim team water bottle. Okay, so sorry. If you're wondering why we're sitting on the floor, we're chatting about lunch organization, and I'm just trying to get the things in place of where they need to be. So I wanted this year to have water bottles that had a spout that went, that got covered for obvious reasons. I hope that's obvious. Anyways, so this is the kind that we got. I got them on Amazon Prime Day back in June. And just see this, all these things do not belong. You guys, those Tupperware memes, it's real life right here. Real life on the Tupperware memes. This Tupperware goes in a different drawer. So again, we're going to have a little powwow at a future family dinner about where the Tupperware goes. Okay, I do keep my cast iron over here. And it kind of acts as a container as well. And that's where the thermoses go. So these were kind of almost in the right place from last year. So we have a couple of these for anything leftovers that we warm up in the morning that they want to stay warm. We have a couple of these. Really only 3 of the kids use those, which is why I only have 3. Okay. let's see, there should be one more top. See, look at this, all the tops in the wrong places. I'm gonna have to go hunting for the tops. So let this be your inspiration to get organized. And again, I want you to consider the function of where these items live so that there's easy access to these items, as well as this is my son's work thing. This goes to this. Oh, good. Look, we're finding more pairs. The teens and their cool hydro flasks. Are those even still cool? I'm not even sure. And I have 2 lids missing of bottles that we are going to need. Okay, so let me just leave this here, and I'm going to put this in the garage with the swim stuff since that's a swim team bottle. All right, so answer me this. Do you pack lunches in the morning or the afternoon is the question. Okay, so I have this how I want this back here now. I have all the thermos stuff together, cozy in my cast iron. I'm going to put the water bottles back in here. Having this plastic container is going to help the water bottles stand up. And I do need to find 2 stray lids, which I think are in the other, where my husband has his coffee mugs. So where things should go, do you need to try a new location? We actually used to have this lunch stuff somewhere else, but when we moved that back into our house last year, I moved it here, and it turned out to be a great switch in terms of, oh, here's that lid. I knew it was right here. Okay. It was hiding. See, this is why we need this. So water bottles can go, rinsed, cleaned, either back in here or reused for the next day. And then, of course, washed either as needed or on the weekend. All right, more Tupperware. Okay, the other thing that I keep in here, although this has not happened lately, is field trip. We have this lunch bags. I'm just leaving them in here. I don't know when we're going to need one, but I have it right here for when I ever, if and when we ever need those again, for whatever reason. So there's that. And then these guys, I do need to wash these. I did order another set of these, so we're going to have plenty of these again. These are the Easy Lunch Boxes that I've used for many, many years. They are very long lasting, and they are going to be, so I'm going to set these up here so that I will wash them right now, today. Okay, as far as snacks go, the biggest, people ask me all the time with lunches and snacks and how to save money, and especially right now with the food prices on the rise, we talked about that here on the show last month, is balancing out, I need to wash those, whoops, balancing out convenience versus, make it yourself. I know our schedules are busy, but I can always find time to sneak in a baking session. We do, oh, that looks so much better. We do a lot of baked goods around here just because growing teenagers, and they love muffins and banana bread and coconut bread and zucchini bread and things like that. And so I try to balance, that's kind of always been my answer. Hey, Sarah, I try to balance the convenient snacks. We do buy them, absolutely, but I try to balance that with a little bit of making it myself. I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner. I might as well whip up a batch of something to bake. So I know that that's not always doable, but just know that if you are struggling with your budget, especially the kind of the quick grab and go snacks, there are some things that you can do to kind of counterbalance that. And I think that, baking or buying in bulk and then dividing it up into kind of snack size portions, over time, it really does make a difference. So look at how much more functional this is. The kids can grab these. I do have some smaller ones in the back. So sometimes if they take a, these are the same company, they're just 4. So if they take a thermos, then they'll take this with their fruit and cheese and whatever other things they might have. So I have those. We don't use those as much as we use the bigger ones. So what can you do? What can you use around your house? And what space can you use to make this, as functional as possible, both with supplies and then with food? And I would encourage you to create a similar looking station. I'm not going to open the fridge and all that yet because I don't have that food yet. I might do a sneak peek of that because next week we're going to talk about make ahead freezer meals, and we're going to dive into my freezer like quite literally. So maybe we'll do that then. But and I don't even have the back to school food yet because it's not till next week. So anyways, but think in this same sort of concept, like simplify, use the space that you have well, be willing to adjust and do things a little bit differently because I think you'll see in the end it'll be better for you. Everybody knows where everything is when it's nice and organized like this, and it makes it easier for when I rarely do the dishes anymore, friends. And so when they know, and they will soon know that this is not where Tupperware goes, but when they know that this is where the lunch boxes go after they're finished, then this is where their water bottles go after they've come out of the dishwasher, right? So that here's what I'm trying to avoid. We want that smooth, streamlined morning, and really trying to avoid the where's my XYZ. Everything, not just lunch packing supplies, not snacks, not lunchbox food, but shoes. We have a shoe basket, belts. We have a belt basket. My kids go to a charter school, so they have to wear uniforms. Their uniforms all hang up in the same place. They have their backpacks all hang up in the same place. We had a mask basket last year that we were using, for the school year. I don't know yet, TBD on what's happening with that this next year, but we had everything. Everything has its place, and it just makes for so much easier time in the morning. So I want you to consider those things. Function over form. Like our shoe basket is not the most sightly thing, but it doesn't matter because it functions really. It doesn't matter to me right now, anyways, because it it functions really well, if that makes sense. So I want you to consider, kind of function over, I guess, design, if you will. And then what can you reuse around your house? Do you have a large basket that you could use? Do you have another container, like even a large Tupperware would work for something like containing water bottles? Or we have a lot of water bottles, but if you don't have that many, a smaller Tupperware type of a thing that you could use for that. Just an Amazon box, the right size Amazon box. For a long time, I had an Amazon box in my freezer where I would like line up my freezer meals. So just think about that, what you can reuse, what you can recycle, and of course, um, what you need to, if there is something new that you need to buy, whatever that may be, any of these packing supplies or, as organize things to organize all of these things in your cabinets and in your drawers. So I'm making my quick notes. I actually need to wash the lunch boxes that zip up. I don't think we need new ones because the one we had from last year are just in great shape. So here's my 2 tasks for right now. And we will get to the food tasks, I think next week when we look at the freezer meal. We will do that together. And then I, of course, need to find, there's a couple things up here that I either need to find their tops or find their new home for wherever those are going to live. And of course, put back the Tupperware. So that's what I have for you on this week's. I'm going to just come like this on the floor. Isn't this weird? I guess not. We can hang it on the floor, right? So this is what I want you to, I like to close out every episode of the Erin Chase Show with just a little bit of structure. I love structure. You probably do too. I have an acronym for intentional living, and it's PIE, which is a short for plan, implement, evaluate. So I want you to plan on how you're going to organize and where you're going to organize your things, like we talked about, function over form or design. I want you to then implement it like I just did right here. Let this be your inspiration to reset or set up in a new place your packing supplies, whatever that may be. And then, of course, make a list of anything you need to do, what might be missing. I need to go upstairs and grab the box, from wherever to use here, whatever. So do all those things, plan, implement, evaluate. Once the school year gets going, then you got to think about, okay, did I move this to the right place? Do I need to try a different cabinet? Do I need to put these things all on like an open shelf that's actually not inside of the kitchen, but outside of the kitchen because there's too much traffic? Okay, like whatever it may be. Our kitchen is like, I feel like we should live stream that one morning. Or maybe I'll do like a time lapse. It's just like, I feel like it's just a constant cycle of people. Okay, and then last, think, feel, take action. I want you to think, streamline, simplify. And then I want you to, of course, take action, or that's going to help you feel that just sort of smooth, efficient morning. I can't guarantee that for you, but it will definitely help. And then I want you to take action, which is, of course, doing what we just did right here and getting everything where it needs to be. Your end goal, then, of course, the result that we are looking for here with this type of morning is to hear less and less, if any. I tell you what, when I do this and I keep up with it, their uniforms, their shoes, their belts, even just regular clothes and drawers, and church shirts that get hung up. When we keep that in order, I never hear, Mom, where's my blue plaid church shirt? It's hanging up in your closet, buddy. Like, they just know where to look. And it makes such a difference in sort of just that back and forth banter that has to go on, especially in the mornings when it's a rush out the door. At our house, it's 7:15 wheels out is what we say. That means the car wheels have to be leaving the driveway at 7:15. That's real early, my friend. And that's just going to be real early here soon after these late summer nights and sleeping in types of mornings. So I hope this is encouraging for you. Please subscribe to the show. Like I said earlier, we're live on Tuesdays at 2 Central Time, and then the replays, of course, hit our YouTube channel as well as our podcast player for you on Fridays. Every single week, you can subscribe to any of those places. And most weeks, we have a show for you this next month, all through August. We will have a show for you every single week. And of course, if you haven't cooked with me live, I do a live cooking show on Thursday evenings, usually, called the Dinner Made Easy Show. You can come join me there, where I like to teach different cooking skills. It's great for you and also great for your younger kiddos as well. So that is all for this episode, my friend. It's bye for now, and we'll see you again soon.